So grab a blanket or a couple of blocks to sit on. Sit in swastikasana. And we're going to finish on time today, so you can relax. And I'm going to make sure of it. Press your hands down. Lift your side body. Broaden your collarbones. Feel the lift of the front body and the side body. And roll the bones of the shoulders back. Then feel as you roll the bones of the shoulders back, stretch from the outside of the upper arm down towards the elbow. So there's a downward action in the back of the upper arm. And that's really nice because it actually helps the shoulders, because definitely my shoulders feel a bit stiff today. So that lengthening of the upper arm down towards the elbow helps to then press down into the fingertips to then again lift the side chest. And also have this slight sense of the back ribs coming forward in like a U shape. Back ribs coming forward. So move the back ribs forward. Relax the jaw. And let the tongue rest in the lower palate, so it's not touching the sides. Then notice perhaps your head is forward, so just let your head nestle back. So let the screen just be there, and maybe just don't look at the screen, maybe look above or wherever it is that's eye level. So you're still aware of me, still aware of the group, that you're landing in your body. And then keeping the head back, keeping the face back. Fold your palms. Still have the thumbs in line with the breastbone. Still have this sense of rolling the shoulder bones up and back. Have this length from the outer shoulder down to the elbow. And now add this lift from the elbow towards the hands. So the thumbs are almost just sliding up the chest slightly. Close your eyes and settle in. Check in with what's present. So this is an important part of the practice where you're checking in with what's here. Where is your attention? Because it might be miles away from your body. And if it is, just at least notice that. So for the first part of the class, your work will be just to bring your attention into your body. And we do this by exhaling down to the legs, letting the legs relax down, groin soften, feeling the sitting bones down. So trying to land here in our body, feeling what's present, noticing stiffness, weakness, discomfort, numbness, just noticing what's here. And throughout every asana practice, we are really trying to awaken this intelligence in each and every cell. So let us chant together 3 Oms. So when you exhale, see if you can feel that exhalation in your lower abdomen. And then when you breathe in, see if you can feel your chest expanding. So exhale. Om. keeping this lift in your chest, bow your head down. Rest your hands down. And gently open your eyes, raise your head up. Let's begin with Adho Mukha Virasana. So as you've probably noticed, a lot of my classes start with Adho Mukha Virasana. And if you go to another Iyengar yoga teacher, it's quite possible you'd start with this pose as well. Not always, but as we sit on our feet now with the toes together, knees apart, and stretch forward, it's a great opportunity to, again, check in where your body is today. If you're so regular in your practice of this particular pose, it's a great way of seeing. It's like stepping out of the front door and looking to see what the weather is. You know, you do it so frequently from the same spot. So sitting the buttocks down, start to stretch forward and just check in with how your back is. Feel how the knees are. Notice whether you need to put a blanket on top of your heels or whether actually your knees are even stiffer today and that you're going to do this lying on your back. And then extend forwards. And before you place your head down, see if you can outwardly rotate those upper arms. And I know I've been talking about that quite a lot recently. So see if you can really begin to get that sensation of the upper arms rotating outwards. Upper arms rotating outwards. And then stretching from the armpit towards the elbow. Upper arms rotating outwards. So the bicep, the puppy muscle, rolls up away from the floor, and the tricep grips into the bone. And then press the thumb and index finger side of the hands down. Then keeping this lengthening forwards of the front of your body and the sides of your body, then possibly rest your forehead on the floor or on a support. So we try and keep the head in line with the spine. And you may want to just explore how the height you've chosen for your head might be too low, because if it's too low, it might push your spine up. So if your head is slightly higher, the dorsal spine can move down and into the body. So there's this self-study that's happening. And we start with that self-study of the body in the posture. Exhale. And then inhale to come up. We're going to do Ardha Uttanasana, standing at the wall or a chair. So straighten out your legs just to make sure that the knees are open. And then you're going to come up to standing and place your hands on a wall about shoulder height. Have your feet hip width apart and stretch back. So spread the palms and move the hips back. Press the thighs back. Move the inner thighs back. So the hands are on the wall, shoulder width apart, feet are hip width apart, and you're stretching back. So spread the toes, so even lift the toes so you can bring the weight onto the heels a little more. And then stretch the toes forwards and then rest them down, and then suck the arches up of the feet. And as you suck the arches of the feet up, feel the frontal thighs lifting and the backs of the thighs lifting and spreading. Feel the sitting bones spreading, backs of the thighs spreading. Again, feeling. So there's a doing and an observing. And then there's also a feeling of, oh, okay, so that side of my back is still a little stiff today, or oh, that shoulder's aching, or oh, my weight is different on my left and right foot. So really arriving here in the body. And then inhale to come up. And then sitting in virasana, so sit between your feet, sit on a foam pad. I'll sit sideways just in case you need to see. So there's a slight leaning forwards. And then you want to create space behind the knee, right in there. So create space behind the knee with the fingers. And as you sit down, you're moving the calf muscle away. So you sort of slide the hands away. And then once you're sitting, okay. Once you're sitting, draw the shin forward, the skin of the shin forward. So if you have stiffness or discomfort in the ankles, what's good in this posture is to have the blanket so it comes up to where the ankle is, so that there's not such an angle. So 180-degree line at the ankle. So that line will be a big stretch. So with a blanket, it will reduce that. So you put your block halfway on the blanket, so that then your foot is not at 180 degrees. And then draw the skin of the shin forward, squeeze the ankles in, then press your fingertips down and sit up tall. Then notice, have a look at your feet and notice if it's anything like mine, the little toe is not even touching the floor. The big toe's got a lot of weight and the little toe's got none at all. So with your feet, spread them from the big toe towards the little toe. So use your hand to broaden the feet. On both sides. And as you broaden the feet, can you squeeze the ankles in? Good. And then bring your hands forwards and lift your buttocks up a little bit and spread and stretch the backs of the thighs towards the buttocks. And see if that brings you down a little bit more. So it's the backs of the thighs go towards the buttocks. Hopefully that'll bring you down a little bit more, soften the groins. Good. And so we're sitting up and interlace the fingers and spread your palms forward and stretch up. Turn the palms to face the ceiling. So be careful that you don't tip forwards like I just was. Make sure you're sitting on the sitting bones and you're taking the waist back so the ribs don't protrude, because I see how that's arching my lower back. So keep the ribs back, but similarly, don't be back like this. If you're stiffer, it'll be more like that. And move the triceps to the bone, roll the biceps back. Breathe into this space in the chest. Asana. Notice how the little finger is the highest, probably, if it's anything like my hand. So bend the elbows down towards your head. Try and stretch the index finger side up and keep stretching the index finger side of the hand down, and you'll get this sort of screechy feeling down the front of the arms as you bring the elbows in. But it really works the hands and the wrists. And then bring your arms down, turn your palms, change the interlace. So move the fingers along one, then spread the palms forward. Try to press into the index finger side as you stretch up. Roll the bicep out and the tricep in. So you're turning the arms outwards. Bring the hands down, bend the elbows, spread the palms, try and stretch up the index finger side, and then stretch up. Stretch the index finger side of the arm up. Index finger side, elbows in. So Urdhva Hastasana if it hurts the fingers. So just straight arms if you can't do the interlace. That's it. And then exhale and bring your arms down and then release the legs. So lean forwards and then stretch your legs out. Spread the soles of the feet. Again, just be in Dandasana. So it's important that we kind of stretch the legs every time after we've bent them. And come up. So we're going to do downward facing dog pose with our hands at the wall. So don't worry if I can't see you, but put your mat so it touches the wall, the small end. Turn your hands outwards. So if the screen was my wall, I'd put my thumbs at the wall and turn the fingers out. And what it does is turns those upper arms outwards, but make sure that you're not letting the outer arm just flop. It needs to firm to the bone. So turn the hands, firm the outer upper arms, and go into downward facing dog pose. With the hands at the wall. If you're not sure, just have a quick look at the screen. Otherwise, go into it. So push the hands, feel that rotation of the upper arms, grip the outer upper arms into the bone, spread the balls of your feet, lift the toes up so that you can stretch the heels back and stretch the toes forward. Then rest the toes down, but keep drawing those heels back. Keep pressing the thumbs into the wall, but rotating those upper arms outwards and firm. So the bicep muscles going up, the triceps moving in towards the bone, and then move your dorsal spine in, move your bra strap area in, and release the head. Keep pressing the front thighs to the back thighs, spreading the backs of the knees. Feel your out breath in your lower abdomen. And then exhale to come down. Good. Adho Mukha Svanasana with the heels to the wall. So turn around, go in towards the wall, and then take the heels up onto the skirting. You may need to walk your hands further forwards, and then try and dig the heels so much into the wall that you can lift your toes. So you're really lifting up the front of the leg. So heels on the wall. And lift the feet off the floor. Try and get the toes off the floor. So you're digging your feet so much into the wall that you're able to lift the fronts of the shins and lift the toes up. Feel the front of the leg drawing up. And then rest the feet back down, but keep that aliveness in the legs, pressing the heels back, moving the inner heels back, inner knees back, inner thighs back. What's happening with the arms, everyone? So come down a sec. Let's see if we can get the arms, because the arms kind of went into this position because we were focusing on the legs. So the elbows are out and the shoulders are in, but we want this position. They come in, they turn out. Okay, so again. That's better. So don't let the elbows roll out and the arms. So turn those upper arms outwards. That's it. And now stretch up. And then exhale to come down. And then come up to standing. Be in Tadasana. Let me just adjust my camera a little bit. Be with your feet together, be in the center of your mat. Then Urdhva, sorry, you can't quite see my head if you can see my feet, but I think better to see my feet than my top of my head. Feet together, Tadasana. Now squeeze those legs in. Can you bring the aliveness that you just got from the wall into your legs now? Spread the backs of the thighs from the inside to the outside. Feel the sacrum moving into the body. Extend the arms down. Lift the front chest. Then taking the legs wide, bring the hands into the chest. Bend your knees, step or jump wide. Extend the arms. Press the outer edges of the feet down. Ankles in, hips in, extend the arms wide. Then turn the arms. And what way are you turning the arms? You're rolling the bicep up and the triceps rolling underneath. So then you've got to lift it up to the bone. Feel that this turn of the arms helps the lift of the chest, but firm the tricep. So there's a sense of sucking the arm back onto the shoulder will help to firm the tricep. So use your other hand to try and find what message you need to send from your brain to your body to get that to firm. I find it helps if I have a sense that I'm pulling something. I'm pulling something with the hand. So make a fist and imagine you're pulling a rope, and that seems to firm it. Then Urdhva Hastasana. As you stretch up, feel the lift in the pelvic floor, lift of the frontal pelvic rim. Lift the breastbone, extend the arms up, keep that rotation in the arms, and then exhale, bring the arms wide, bring the hands in, wiggle the feet in a little if they're very wide, and then back to Tadasana. So let's go to Trikonasana on the right side. And we've been working a lot recently on this different angle so that we can get this buttock in. So we're not going to do that different angle today unless you know you need to work in that way for your hips. But I'd like us to really focus on getting that under so that you can actually get the hand much lower down. So that there's this action of the hip drawing in, the leg drawing into the hip. So let's have a go. So bring your feet together. Try and lengthen both sides of the body. Look straight ahead. Exhale, hands to your chest, bend your knees, jump or step wide. Then turn the arms so you get that outward rotation in the shoulders. But keeping that, now turn the palms to face down. Left foot turns in, right leg, right heel in, toes out. Press the left thigh back, cut that right buttock in as you then take the hand to your ankle and stretch up. Move that right buttock under you. Roll the right shoulder back and bring the right chest forward. So cut the right shoulder blade in and stretch straight up. Keep pressing the outer edge of the left heel down. Keep your head in line with your spine. Exhale. Inhale, come up, stretching the right arm. Toes forward. So if you found it hard, take your legs a bit wider because that will bring you lower and closer to your ankle. Right leg in, left leg out. Legs straight, chest up. Exhale, extend to the side. So suck this leg into the hip socket and moving the right hip towards the left hip. Take the hand to the ankle. And then roll that left shoulder back to cut the left shoulder blade in to bring that left chest forward. And then take the top chest back. Keep your head in line with your spine. exhale, inhale to come up, leading with the left hand. Turn your feet forwards, bring your hands in and step or jump your legs together. Tadasana. Now, Uttanasana. So if you're feeling stiff today, you can do Ardha Uttanasana, hands to the wall. Otherwise, you can grab a couple of blocks or bricks to do it in the middle of the room. And remember, the concave back stage is a crucial part where the spine moves into the body, right from down here. So don't leave this. So this is a really important part. So you've got to make sure you've got enough height for your hands to get this. So it's not this shape. So feet to the edges of your mat, give you loads of space so you can suck up the inner legs. So press the feet down, but lift the inner legs up. Extend up into Urdhva Hastasana and then extend forwards, bring your hands to your blocks. So just like we did when we had our hands at the wall, work the legs. So suck the legs up, spread the backs of the thighs. So there's a sense of the backs of the thighs lifting up and coming towards the back. And then move the spine into the body, lengthen forwards. Then the tummy doesn't hang down. So the tissue can, but the muscle hugs the spine. So that when we're going forwards, the tummy is hugging the spine as we stretch the front of the body forward. So obviously, if you can have it with lower height, don't be so high up. I was just high so that you didn't feel funny being low, being high up. But if you can go lower, but make sure those shoulder blades are moving in. Inhale. And then as you exhale, keep looking forwards or slightly to the floor. So you're lengthening your front body down. So the breastbone is lengthening towards the floor, face is going towards the floor, shoulder blades are still in, and then release your head at the end and place the hands by the outsides of your feet and spread from the armpits to the elbows and release your trunk down. Bring your weight slightly forward so you're not leaning back. But again, be gentle because it's the first standing forward bend possibly of the day. So the back might be sticking out more than normal. Release the head though once you've gone into once you're in the posture. Back of the head down, Akiko. That's it. Exhale. Then bring your hands back to the blocks. Extend your trunk forwards. Grip your hips. And inhale, come up. Extend your arms up. And bring your arms down by your side. Okay, so we're going to do Ardha Chandrasana. So if you want to use a wall or a chair, then please do, because it's nice to have stability. We're not doing this to develop balance necessarily. We're doing this for the effect in the body, mind, so that we feel the shape of the pose, not and benefit from the shape of the pose, not the balancing bit. So if you use a chair or a wall, I'm putting my chair here so you can see that if that was chair or wall. So you're going to go into Trikonasana, and then you bend your knee. And as you take your hand to the floor or onto your brick, you take your hand to the chair or to the wall, but you mustn't let the shoulder come down. The top shoulder stays up. The top shoulder stays up. So my chest is still facing the camera, and I'm just using the chair to give me extra balance so that I can stay in the posture and explore the work of the leg to spread the abdomen, the work of the arms to spread the chest. And then we're going to come down. Okay, so adjust yourself so you've got your chair on your right side of your mat or you're at a wall. So just in case you didn't see, so my hand will be down, then I take my hand to the chair, but I don't bring my shoulder down. The shoulder stays up. Okay, so just go into it on your own. So legs wide, arms wide. So the chair is, I'm sort of in the middle of my mat and the chair is at the front of my mat. So it's quite close to me. Turn the left foot in, the right leg out. And then Trikonasana. Bend the knee. And then as you bend the knee and you bring your weight forwards, take your hand to the floor and the other hand to the chair. And then you can pause for a moment and really work on spreading this underneath of this left leg as you raise the foot up. And you can also focus on the firmness and grip of the outer standing leg. Cut that buttock in maximum so that the left waist can go back, the left chest can go up, left shoulder can go up. Keep hold of the chair so you're steady and you can explore this lifting of the leg, the spread of the abdomen, the spread of the chest. Raise the leg, everyone. Then with your exhalation, bend your standing leg and reach to take the foot down and inhale to come up. Turn your feet forwards, join your legs. Just keep your chairs there for a moment. I just want to show you briefly, I think the most common thing I saw was that your hands were somewhere about there. And so look how short my body is because my hand is so close to my foot. So in Trikonasana, it would be like, it's like this. It's sort of, I've not lengthened. So we need to lengthen the side of this side of the body so that when we take the hand, we make a good, least one hand span from the foot so that the leg goes that way and the trunk goes this way. So you've got space. That space is important. So both sides of the body are long. So you know, you're going to do about that and then you place your hand from your foot. So let's do this left side now. Otherwise, it was really nice because you all seem to be quite comfortable in the pose. And the leg coming higher will come if you take your hand lower. Because if your hand is very high up, you know, if my hand is high up, how high am I going to get that leg? I can't get the leg very high, but as soon as I start to bring the hand lower, the leg goes up. So similarly, you know, you've got to adjust the height of the block. Okay, let's do this left side. So be in Tadasana, steady yourself. Don't look at the screen, just give yourself your awareness in your room. And then take your left leg onto the mat and stretch the arms wide. Turn the right leg in, the left leg out. Again, make sure that you're in the middle of the mat and the chair is not too far from you. And then extend to the side. Trikonasana. Get that length from the left hip to the left armpit. And then bend the knee. Take the hand to the chair and then give yourself space to move that left hand further away from the foot. That's it. And then raise the leg up. Really lengthening the underneath of the thigh. Lengthen the underneath of the thigh as you lift the foot up. That's it. So your hand's a bit too high, Mildred, because your leg's going too high. Left hand lower. Move the left hand lower. That's it. Spread the abdomen, spread the chest. Cut that left buttock in. I think you're coming forwards, Akiko, with your body. Are you still in the Trikonasana alignment or are you coming towards the chair? Make sure you're not coming towards the chair. Keep your body parallel to the sides of your mat. Lower the leg a bit, Mildred. Exhale, then bend the standing leg. Reach to take the foot down to the floor. come through Trikonasana. Inhale to come up, turn your feet forward, and then join your legs. Come back to Tadasana. Okay, so Prasarita Padottanasana. Turn your chair. I'm going to show it to you this way so you can see. Legs wide, hands on the seat of the chair, concave back. Then extend forwards and rest your forehead on the seat. Whether it's got a blanket or a bolster, you can decide. So get that length on the inner thighs that we just got from Ardha Chandrasana. Get that length from the hips to the armpits, then rest your forehead. Make sure, I think my legs might have been leaning because I was on a slippery floor, but make sure your legs are not leaning. And we're doing this wide leg. It's a wide leg pose. As wide as triangle pose. Rest your forehead. Extend your arms. Try rest your arms on the top of the support. Try to open up the chest. So quite a few of you are leaning forwards. Bring your hips back above your ankles. Nikki, you could go slightly forward. Yeah. Can you spread the backs of your thighs? And then bring your hands to the seat of the chair, to the bolster or blanket. Inhale and come up. So we're going to do it again because I think most people didn't have their legs wide. Just from what it seemed like most people had their legs sort of about this distance. But actually, Prasarita Padottanasana is the legs wide pose. And obviously you couldn't see that because I was showing it this way, because I was showing the work of the bolster. So let's do again. So so your legs are wide, and then you stretch forwards to the bolster. Legs wide, like triangle pose. That's why we have sticky mats, because the legs don't slip. The feet don't slip. So go when you're ready. Outer edges of the feet down, and reach forward and rest your forehead. Inner thighs back. That's better. Try and get that length so you're not shortening. You need more height for your head pad. Because if the head's down, the back arches. So see if you can feel that length. Inner thighs back better. And then press your hands into the seat. Inhale and come up. Okay, so same posture, this time working towards the floor. So some of you will need to repeat with the chair. Others of you will find that you can come into the posture to the floor and the head comes down. So if you're using a bolster, you place it sort of lengthways, or you put your blanket there. So you come into concave back and then bend the elbows and bring the crown of the head down. And it's the back of the head. So if you feel that you've gone too low, then don't just be scrumpled. Bring the head in and lift the shoulders up. Okay, so head supported on the chair or on something that's on the floor. So take your legs wide. Have the bolster vertical through your legs rather than horizontal. Inhale, lengthen the side body. Then exhale, extend forwards, taking your hands to the blocks or to the floor so you can do your concave backstage. moving the front body forwards, getting those back ribs to move forwards, move the shoulder blades in, feel the abdominal muscles are hugging the spine. So you're lengthening the front of the body forwards, hands are on the floor, concave backstage. Then bend the elbows back and extend your trunk down, lengthening the front of your body, and then bringing the crown of your head to the chair or to the support. Well done, Pat. Elbows in. So elbows in. Shoulders broad. So have the hands at least shoulder width apart so that the elbows can come in, so you can get the outward rotation in those upper arms, so you can get the breadth in the shoulders. So hands shoulder width apart there, Isabel. Elbows in, shoulders broad. So elbows in means that the hands are in front and the elbows are directly behind them. So from my view, I shouldn't see the elbows. That's it. Feel that firmness. That's the triceps, keeping those elbows in. Elbows in, elbows in. I can see your elbows. Spread the shoulders. That's it. Everyone spread the back and exhale. Be in the pose. Feel what's happening. Keep the legs straight. Exhale. And then straighten your arms. Come into the concave backstage. So again, the stages are important so the body doesn't get shocked. Then firm the legs. If you need to bring the feet in a bit closer, you can, or if you need to bring your hands up onto your bolster. And then inhale, come all the way up. And then heel toe your feet together and join your legs. Extend your arms down, feet together. Press the feet down. Now, vrikshasana, tree posture. Be in Tadasana, join your feet. Feel the spread that you've got in the backs of your thighs. Raise the right leg up. Grip the hips in. Stretch the thigh back, out to the side and back, then stretch the arms wide. Turn the arms so the palms face the ceiling. And try to keep the breastbone lifting. So as we raise the arms, keep the breastbone lifting. So the breastbone's going up with the arms. Don't look, let your eyes be eye level. So we're coming up now into tree posture, pressing the foot into the thigh into the foot. Extend the arms up, firming those triceps to the bone. And then the other side. So raise the left leg. Then press the foot into the thigh into the foot. Then stretch the arms wide, turn the arms. And then keep the breastbone lifting as you firm the triceps to the bone as you raise the arms up. Try not to lean in that right hip. Keep gripping that right hip in. Lift the face. Grow tall. And if you wobble and come down, then that's good because you were trying to do something that you weren't doing already. So you were exploring the posture. So explore the posture and let that bring you down, and then you'll have understood something. Good. And then exhale, bring your arms down and join your feet. So we're going to come into Supta Baddha Konasana now. So grab a bolster and a blanket. If you've not got a bolster, then you'll have 2 foam pads. 2 foam pads next to each other. So you got that vertical length. And then you put your blanket on the top. Then coming into Baddha Konasana. So Baddha Konasana is soles of the feet together. knees wide. And we're going to do that lying down. So have a small gap between your buttocks and the bolster, and then lie down and have the knees wide and bring the blanket to support the head and the neck, but not the shoulders. Reclining cobbler's pose. So you can do it with or without a belt, up to you. I was just showing it without, but if you want to use a belt, then do. And bring the soles of the feet together and the knees are wide. And then extend the arms back up into Urdhva Hastasana, and then extend the sides of the body. So you're lengthening the arms away from you and you're lengthening the outer hips in the opposite direction. So your waist is lengthening. Lengthen those back ribs away from your hips. So your lower back is not arching excessively. You're lengthening the back. Then catch hold of the elbows. If you're finding that it's too much of an arch, then it's possible that your bum is too close to the bolster and you just need a bigger gap between your buttocks and the bolster. So you put more of a gap there so that there's less of a jump for the lower back. So the lower back has a gradual lift. And if it's still not great, then lower the height of the support or raise the height of the buttocks. So you put a blanket under the bum so that it reduces the height of the bolster, because some of these bolsters are quite big. Mine are really flat now, which I quite like. So raise the height of your buttocks, Ros, if you need to. And then when you lie down, there's less of a gradient for your lower back. And then if you're able to hold the elbows, do, but if that arches the back excessively, then keep the arms by your side. And then just allow the chest to open. Feel the abdomen really soft. So feel your normal breathing. In this posture, allowing the inner thighs to lengthen towards the knees. So what's it like? Just what's your normal breathing like in this posture? So we've been focusing on trying to lengthen both sides of the body evenly, and we're doing the same in this posture. So now can you feel that you're breathing into both lungs evenly? So see if you can feel your out breath in that large abdominal area. And see if you can feel your in breath into this large chest, large and broad and deep chest area. Change the fold of the elbows. And then bring your arms down. Rest your arms by your side, about 45 degrees away from the body. Roll the outer corners of the shoulders down around the curve of the bolster, or pressing down around the blocks. And then see if you can actually do a slightly different breathing pattern. So normal breathing is breathing without making any changes. But what we're going to do now is we're going to actually encourage the out breath to be in the tummy. And we're going to breathe into the breadth of the chest. So it's not a deep breath, but we're just locating our breathing in those two spots. So we'll just do this twice. So exhale to the belly. Inhale into the breadth of the chest. And again. Good. And then normal breathing. And then gently pressing your hands down, you're going to come out of the pose. So that can be either by sitting up, but if you feel it's going to be too much for your back, then you can bring the legs in and roll over to your side. So you can decide which way you want to come up. So you can just press your hands into the floor and carefully come up to sitting. And then if you've got a belt on, take the belt off. Then come to sitting in cross legs, swastikasana. If you're on a bolster, try and sit on the bolster so you've got the length of the bolster behind you like a sausage. If you're just on blocks, similarly have that length of the blocks behind you, because we're going to use the blocks to hold on to for the twist. So cross legs and spread the backs of the thighs and scoop the buttock flesh back so you're right on the sitting bones. So the pelvis is level. Then bring the arms up. So let the legs go down and extend up. So you're again lengthening the sides of the body, lengthening the sides of the spine. Then turn towards the right. Bring the hand down to the leg, reach the other hand behind. Then pause here. So we've positioned the body. Now notice what position you've chosen. Take care that you're not looking down. See that your breastbone is lifting. And now to actually go into the pose, we're going to use our out breath. So exhale and feel that abdominal band turning towards the right, which is going to bring our turn. So exhale. So it's not so much the head, but we're turning the belly first. So bring the head back to be in line with your breastbone. And now turn your abdomen. That's better. Turn the abdomen, not the head. Again, breathe in. Exhale. Feel that waistband turning, moving as you breathe out. Spread the skin of the chest towards the right, skin of the back towards the left. And center. Reach up. So it's not a strong reach up. Don't make it aggressive. Make it just so that you can lengthen both sides of the spine. Turn, then place the hand. So I'm even getting the hand to the back of the bolster. If you can, otherwise on the top is fine. Then lift up and then position yourself. And now with your exhalation across the abdominal band, use that as the engine of the turn. And again. So you're kind of pausing. And then when you breathe out, that's when you begin to turn. And center. Change the cross of your legs. And now just taking the arm straight away into position, turning to the right. So make sure the front of the body is lengthening. The tummy is hugging the spine. Lift up. And now as you exhale, begin to turn to the right, but make sure that this left leg is not stretching forward. So draw the outer left leg back into the hip, because you'll notice as you turn to the right, the left leg, the left leg slides away from you, doesn't it? It kind of, because you're turning, it slips away from you. So keep drawing that left leg back. Keep drawing the outer left leg back and instead lengthening the inner right leg away. And then with your exhalation, turn. So just notice how engrossed you are in the fine tunings of this very simple twist. Outer left leg in, inner right leg stretches out, exhalation with the turn with the exhalation in the belly band. Good, and center. Then the other side. So don't let this right leg escape. Suck the right leg back into the hip. Lengthen the left inner thigh away from you. And lift up, lengthen the front body and turn. So twists are using the abdominal muscles. Access them with that out breath. Feel this right waist moving in. And then the left waist moves in. Sides of the navel move in and you go turn and you go up. Good, and center. And then stretch your legs out. So now Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, bridge pose. So 4 blocks under the buttocks, feet to the wall. Or if you want to do cross bolsters with your feet to the wall, then that's also nice as well. So as you all know, bridge pose with the 4 blocks under the buttocks, feet to the wall. I'll show you cross bolsters with the blocks. So if you've only got 1 bolster, you place the blocks like this. You place the bolster like this. And then you need the wall there for your feet. Okay. So there's an element of guesswork as to how far to go from the wall. So go into it when you're ready. I'm just showing those of you who want to do cross bolsters. Cross bolster Setu Bandha. So cross bolster Setu Bandha, you actually get the shoulders to the floor and then the feet on the wall. I'm too fast, so I have to wiggle back and go closer. Okay, so that's for those who want to do it with the bolster. Bolster's quite nice because it supports the back. You know, that part of the bolster supports the back. So I'm not going to carry on showing because I think you're all sorted. So shoulders down to the floor and then legs straight onto the wall. Shoulders down to the floor. And then straighten your legs and press your feet flat into the wall. You're pretty good there, Isabel. I think just stay with it. That looks pretty, you've got the measurement pretty well there. Excellent. Now everyone tuck those shoulders under. Like you were doing that back arm in the twist, roll the arms out. So again, there's that outward rotation of the arms again. Biceps are rolling up, tricep is rolling down to the floor. And as you turn those arms, lengthen like we did at the beginning, from the back of the arm down to the elbow. Make that really long. and continue to extend towards the fingertips. Keep the head in the center of the chest. Rest the center of the back of the head on the ground. Face quiet. So do your own timings. If you feel that you need to come out, please come out. Otherwise, we'll be there for another minute or so. Setu Bandha, Sarvangasana. And then exhale. Bend your knees, rest your feet on the floor. If you're on a bolster, you're going to carefully slide back till your buttocks are on the ground. Slide back, don't roll to the side. Carefully slide back till the buttocks are on the ground. If you're on blocks, lift your hips and move the blocks out from underneath you. Then rest down. And if you slid off the back of your bolster, like I suggested, you'll be able to just lie down now with the legs resting along the bolster like a fishtail. If you were on blocks, then you can rest with your feet apart and your knees together. So if you have a chair, a yoga chair, and are used to doing chair shoulder stand, you could do chair shoulder stand now. Otherwise, you can go into normal shoulder stand or go straight to Viparita Karani, legs up the wall with the support underneath the buttocks. So carefully roll over to your side. So those of you who are going to go into shoulder stand, set yourself up with your 4 foam pads and your mat over them and any extra blankets. Those who are doing Viparita Karani, you're going to have your bolster or blanket a short distance from the wall. So there's a gap. And then you sit on it sideways. Move your bum in towards the wall and then flip up. So your buttocks are down. The sitting bones are broad. The waist is broad. Backs of the legs are broad and the arms can be wide. So the buttocks hang slightly over the bottom of the bolster. So that's for those of you who are doing Viparita Karani. If you're not doing shoulder stand. So in shoulder stand, try and get a sense of the best way for you to work. If you're stiff in the shoulders, you'll benefit from extra height. So not just the 4 blocks, but even a couple of blankets or more on top of those blocks underneath the mat. And you may find that going into halasana first is a great way to adjust the shoulders. That's how I always go up. So do go into that and have any chair that you might need. So by having the blocks, you're making sure that the neck doesn't have to go at a 90-degree angle, but that you've got that gradient so that you can get the lift in the chest, but that that demand's not being placed on the neck. So because of that, we're actually able to then move the sacrum into the body and press the thighs back. So if you're finding it hard to lift the buttocks, then separate the feet about hip width apart and then press the feet up and roll the thighs in, and see if this helps you to then press your upper arms down into the mat and dig the hands into your upper back, and helps you to lift the buttock flesh up and move the middle buttock in. And you're beginning to get that lift, and the tailbone is beginning to move into the body. And then the thighs press back so that you go up. And once you have this feeling of the tailbone moving in, you can begin to bring the legs together. But if you feel that the tailbone is still out, then I would keep your feet apart. Roll the thighs in. Throat soft. And then you're either going to come down or you're going to go into halasana and then come down. So once you rest the feet on the floor, pause there in halasana. Interlace the fingers, stretch the arms back. That's it, Lynn, that's good. Keep the head straight. I'm not doing anything, I'm just talking. Now interlace the fingers behind your back and lift your back and press the feet onto that support. And then everybody exhale, change the interlace if you're interlacing the fingers. Again, another long out breath. Then supporting your back, come down. Resting over the shoulder stand support with the shoulders to the floor. The shoulders on the floor, shoulder blades caught onto the edge of the blocks. If you've already come up, then you could do cross leg forward bend with your forehead supported on the chair or a table, or if you're more flexible, on a bolster. So once you've come out of your shoulder stand, then take your chair in front of you or some height. Cross the legs, move the hips back and stretch the body forwards, rest the forehead down. Try to get that J shape, that U shape of moving the back ribs in, so that when we go forwards, we don't move the back. When we go forwards, we lengthen the front forwards and move the back body forwards and in. And then rest your head, but be careful, because as soon as you bring the head down, it can make the ribs pop back out again. So lengthen forwards. Head on a chair if you're stiffer. Sit on a bolster if you need to. Wiggle back, remember, from Viparita Karani. So rest forwards in your cross-legged forward bend, everyone. And then once you've done that side for about half a minute, come up, change the cross of your legs, and again go forward. And then once you've finished that, see if you can, your last one, see if you can breathe into your back. So exhale and breathe into the breadth of your back. And then come up. So we're going to lie down in Shavasana 2 to do some pranayama before we lie down flat for Shavasana. So depending on your back, you may find that, because my bolster's not very thick, it's just a little bit thicker than than a block. So bolster's fine for me with a blanket. So take the height that's going to be good for you. Those of you who've got trickiness in the back and find the bolsters and blocks even quite high, you could just work with a 3-folded blanket. So that's 1, 2, 3. It's a 3-folded blanket, and it's just going to be much lower. And you'd probably need a blanket for your head as well. And then you lie down with that nestled into the lower back. Okay, so but have a blanket under the head as well, probably. So that step is small between the floor and the blanket. So that's for those of you who can get achy back from lying on a bolster. Otherwise, go for a bolster or your 2 blocks. And then have a little bit of extra height for your head. So the sort of idea behind this is that there's an ascending movement. So the feet are low, the legs are low. Then the buttock flesh is long. So you go down, lengthening the buttock flesh. You lie down evenly along the bolster, so you're not wonky one side to the other. And then you turn those upper arms outwards and lengthen once again from the shoulder to the elbow, and then extend the arm. So this whole side of the chest is ready for our breathing practice. So the abdomen is receded and the chest is open. So see if you can go through those stages, lengthening the buttock flesh towards your feet, rolling the legs out, then tucking the shoulders under and turning those arms like we've been doing, biceps to the ceiling. So those papai muscles are definitely to the ceiling now. Triceps are down towards the floor. And then lengthen from the shoulder to the elbow. Then rest the center of the back of the head on the blanket and make sure the blanket is supporting up to the neck, but not under the shoulders. And then also notice whether the height that you've got under the head is, maybe it's too high. Maybe it's too high, or maybe it's too low. And what we're looking for is whether the throat can soften and recede, and whether the chest is elevated. So the position of the head affects the chest. Then settle and notice your normal breathing in this position. Just like we did before in our Supta Baddha Konasana. So notice your normal exhalations, your normal inhalations. And now let's see if you can locate your breathing in your trunk. So can you locate your out breath in your abdomen? Can you feel the abdomen settling down as you breathe out? And then can you locate your in-breath in your chest? So you're not doing like a massive big inhalation. You're just in a sense, coloring the normal inhalation. So just making it slightly more obvious and locating it in the chest. So the positioning of the body, especially the arms and the head, are directly affecting the space in the torso, the openness of the chest. So see that you're maintaining the posture of the arms out to the side, shoulders rolling down, so the side chest can be really deep. But when we're lying down, there's not much to maintain because everything is relaxing. But when we sit and do this, there's more maintaining to do because we're upright. We've got to maintain this feeling in the chest that you've got now of the shoulders rolling down against the bolster, arms turning out, sides of the body long. So this is Ujjayi number 1, normal breathing. And it's kind of number 1.1, normal breathing with locating our out breath in our belly, our in breath in our chest. And then come back to normal breathing, i.e. without locating it. And just see what it feels like. Check in with your body, mind, heart. Okay, so now we're going to go to Ujjayi 3. Now we're going to go to Ujjayi 4, where we're going to do a long inhalation and a long exhalation. So we breathe out to prepare to the lower abdomen. So that's a definite location, possibly a little lower than we were working a moment ago. So you're going to exhale to the lower abdomen to prepare. A bit lower than where we were doing those twists, but it's that similar area. So feel that exhalation, lower pelvic abdomen. Then you're going to breathe into the breadth of the chest, almost like in a triangular shape, broadening and expanding the chest. So the ribs are going to expand so that the lungs can expand, and then the organs within the chest can also have space. And keeping that breadth, you're going to then breathe out as if from underneath the ribs. And the out breath is just going to go really slowly, smoothly, like a waterfall, just that long plunge from the top all the way down to the plunge pool at the bottom. And then normal breathing. So there's beauty in that long exhalation. So let's do one cycle to begin with. So keeping the tongue away from the edges of the mouth. The jaw is relaxed. Body is settled, quiet. Exhale to prepare. Begin your long, slow, smooth inhalation, allowing the chest to expand and expand. Rolling the shoulders back against the bolster, expanding those back ribs into the bolster. And then at the top of the inhalation, keep the chest broad and then begin to exhale as if from underneath the ribs. Your long, slow, smooth out breath all the way down to the lower abdomen, and the chest resumes its normal shape and you breathe normally again. So you may have done that faster than me or slower than me. You've got to do your own rhythm. And again, keeping the forehead broad, limbs relaxed, throat soft, breathing through the nose. Exhale to prepare. Begin your long, slow, smooth inhalation, expanding the chest, broadening, 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 pressing back into the bolster. And then begin your long, slow, smooth out breath from just below the ribs. Chest is still expanded. Breathe out. And then at the end of the out breath, the ribs become their normal shape and normal breathing again. And then do one more on your own. Feeling the heart space. Feeling this glow of awareness in the chest. And then keeping that awareness, breathe out. But the lift is still there. And then normal breathing. Be with your normal breathing now. What do you notice? What do you feel? How do you feel? So we've been working with the body breathing. Do you feel any effect on the state of your mind or how you feel? So it's all interconnected. Body, mind, and not separate. So gently bring your awareness back to the surface of your skin as if you're breathing in and it's touching the surface of the skin. Feeling this warmth and brightness from the inside, pressing out to the skin and then into the room. And we're going to lie down flat just for a couple of minutes now in straight savasana. So carefully roll to your side and then lie down flat. If you need to put something under your knees, or if you're already getting chilly, grab an extra blanket. We've just got 2 minutes. So lie down. And breathe as if down to your feet and down to your fingertips. Enjoy this levelness of the ground. And then exhale. Feeling the support of the floor. Rest your hands on your tummy. As we bring the class to a close, roll over to your right side. And come up to sitting. And close your own practice in a way that honors what's important to you, right in the heart. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.